What's going on, YouTube family? It's your boy, Remy Exotic.
It's your man's just laid back.
And we are the Cosmic Critics. We got something good for y'all, man. I know y'all just went to go see that Eternals movie, right?
We all did.
Am I right? And though it was, 4 hours long, it felt like?
Yeah.
It was a good one, you know? And today, we're going to talk about the post-credit scenes of that movie. So, without further ado, let's jump in.
On the cosmic wave.
Oh, yeah, on the Cosmic.
Alright, so we start the first post-credit scene with a bang. We have Athena and the other Eternals on the flagship, and basically they're trying to find out what happened to Cersei's and our other Eternal brothers back on Earth. We know what happened. Arishem, he needs some judgment, okay? They don't know that up until Pip arrives on the ship. Pip introduces the Prime Eternal, okay? The Eternal of Titan, alright? The brother of Thanos. Eros comes on the scene, played by Harry Styles, alright? And so Eros, as we stated, is the brother of Thanos, alright? This prompts a lot of questions. Why doesn't Eros look as Thanos does? Well, Thanos was born with a somewhat deviant gene. And from what we gather here from Eros, he is able to contact Arishem because, as we stated, he is a Prime Eternal, somewhat as Ajax is. And that's where we leave off. But there's a lot to dissect in that scene, of course. With the relationship of Eros and Thanos being brothers, they both come from the host planet of Titan. And as we know from the movie of Infinity War, Titan was a very peaceful planet that eventually ran out of resources and decimated. Alright? Maybe because Thanos was a deviant Eternal, he kinda knew what was right and what was wrong. Something like Cersei's on Earth. And maybe Thanos wanted to decimate that population to prevent that Celestial from being born. It seems like in this phase 4, we're going to at least get an origin story, or more so of a conclusion of who Thanos was and what his purpose is. Okay. Let us know what you think in that comment section below, baby. That's what it's for.
Alright, now, so the last post-credit scene, the one that we waited extra long for because it was, for some reason, at the end of the credits. I don't know. Either way, the one that we waited longest for was none other than Dane Whitman. And you were watching him through the movie. He was cool. He was Cersei's little, you know, her little rebound fling, you know, after her 1,000 years of being married. He was dangling around. We seen him with his little confidence poking his chest out. And if you're a real Cosmic fan, if you really know the comics, then you know Dane Whitman in the comics was actually known as the Black Knight, right? The Black Knight was a part of the Avengers, but he was one of the first heroes on the scene who basically took after a family tradition. He was one of the first heroes in the Arthurian era, and please pronounce my, excuse my pronunciation, but he was one of the first heroes in the Arthurian era, and that's where, we had King Arthur, we had Excalibur, we had all this cosmic weird ass wizard shit going on, and that's where he was at. His family has been fighting all the way since then. Little did we know, Dane Whitman was implanted in this movie throughout for a purpose, right? And the purpose was this post-credit scene. The post-credit scene started with Dane opening a box with a sword, right? And if you remember, prior to that, when the movie first ended, we seen him trying to tell Cersei that my family history is a little bit complicated, right? And it is. Dane Whitman's family history with the Black Knight actually goes back generations and generations. It's a black ass family tree. Somewhere along that line, he had an evil Black Knight. We had a good Black Knight. It was a lot of missed chaos, in somewhere. So he definitely has a messed up family history. When he opens this box, it opens to the Ebony Blade. The Ebony Blade is a powerful sword that in the comics was, notorious for multiple things, but the main one being cursed. And we see that in the MCU version of the Ebony Blade. When he reaches out for it, it did some weird little symbiote venom type attraction type shit, which would have made me personally, I would have closed the box and I would have acted like nothing happened. Dane being who Dane was. Speaking of which, who didn't flinch when Deviant some shit was flying around? You know, he didn't make a sound. He was acting like shit was normal. He acted like nothing happened. When she was telling him shit, he was just like, oh, well, yeah, you still gonna move in? And it's like, bro, do you not see that big ass default looking motherfucking? But whatever, you know, here, better than me. So when he opens the box, he reads a small scripture that says, what? Death is my reward. Dan was about to go ahead and pick this up, which, like I said, is the ebony blade, a cursed sword. But we hear some random voice and it's like, yo, what? Is that Black Jesus? No, it wasn't Black Jesus. It was Mahershala Ali. And that's MCU's Blade, which was confirmed by the Eternals director, is that Mahershala Ali being there was huge, right? Because that opens up our first and very appearance of Blade in the MCU. So that's a lot to look forward to. You know, Black Knight and Blade meeting up. The MCU is going to go a long way with this, but I wouldn't expect much right away. You know, it might be a lot down the line, but it's just something we got to look out for.